It is No Gifts Please, the parenting podcast by the pair with no real gifts, but a whole lot of gumption. Hey everyone, I'm Steve Noviello.
And I'm Jenny Anchondo.
And welcome to season 3. Can you believe it?
Gosh, no, we just are only continuing to do this so we can keep hanging out with each other and tell our families that we've got work to do.
Well, I'm like literally I'm working 24/7 right now.
Can we take a moment for someone got a new show and got a whole new wardrobe?
No.
Yes.
No. So a couple of housekeeping things. So first of all, I think it's so funny. I have literally not seen you since. I mean,
it's been
I
tragic.
think I saw you twice over the summer.
4th of July.
Yeah,
we 4th of July together. We had hot dogs, and Heath did
and illegal fireworks in the backyard.
In the backyard, which was really fun.
And that's it.
We didn't even do any play dates.
We tried to. I mean, there were a couple of things where we were like, "Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this," and now it's.
I know we were going to go to the water park, which is open year round. We're still going to do that.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in a second because that came up. One of our children went.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have so much to catch up on.
I know, right? And first of all, and let me say how nice it's been. So now that we're back in school, I have heard from so many people that are like, "When's your podcast coming back? Are you guys coming back? When's your podcast coming back?"
They like us. They really, really like us.
I like that, right?
I have surprisingly heard the same. And I was kind of thinking, like, people said, "Oh yeah, like I've listened a couple times," and then we were missed during the hiatus.
Us when we're gone.
So we are back in action to just get caught up. And we're like, this episode, we're just going to get caught up. And the other thing that was funny was we both assume that everybody knows who the other is or knows who we are. But now people have found the podcast who are like, these are just these two random friends that started this podcast. And they're kind of wondering like the origin story here. So we need like a little bit of a reset. So
we'll get to that in a second. But first, one of the things that is the same for this year, I do have to shout out to Vandergrift, Toyota, Honda, Acura. How awesome. They re-upped for another 2 seasons. So now we're
for sure going to have season 3 and 4, I guess.
So now you're stuck with me for 2 more. I was like, well,
gladly.
Like 2 more, right? At least.
Gladly.
And we'll go from there.
Let's go for 5 at least.
I think, let's wait. 2 more now. So yeah, those guys have been great.
24.
And Charlie Evans over there, who's the owner operator of those 3 dealerships, he was such a great guest on our show. I would love to have him back again.
Agreed.
To talk more. I have so many more questions about that the car buying process now.
Agreed. And if you're in the car buying situation, loop back to that one. It'll be obvious which one it is when you're looking through because it's like the only one about cars. But he was quite insightful.
Yeah. Okay. So here we are.
How was your summer?
How
were
good.
The boys?
The kids are good. Jacob and Hudson are great. We are in kinder and 2nd grade. Hudson is loving kindergarten.
Oh,
loving.
Star student.
We just had, it's interesting. So he ended up getting the same teacher that Jacob had.
I like when the schools do that. Yes.
And he, of course, when leading up to it, because like in daycare, like this person teaches the 2s, this person teaches the 3s, so he's like, well, obviously I'm going to have such and such teacher in kindergarten, Dad.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh no, dude, like that's not how kindergarten works. There's going to be a lot of different teachers. The whole grade isn't in the same class like it is in daycare. So then, of course, when he got her, he was like, see? Like, I got this. Like,
confidence on confidence on confidence.
So we had curriculum night, and I was like, because I had said to the teacher who I adore, I'm old enough to be her dad for sure, but I said, I'm so excited that, whatever. I said, I need to tell you that these are
2
very different children.
Yeah, this is not Jacob.
Which is why I thought that they were going to have different teachers, because I was like, clearly different kids need different things. But he ended up in the same class. So I saw her at curriculum night. I said, you'll wonder if they're related. Like, they're that different.
They are.
So I saw her at curriculum night, and she was like, okay, Hudson is, they have a special like red couch that you get to sit on if you're well behaved.
Oh, I'm guessing he's not letting anybody else sit on it. Like he's fully just taking it.
He got to sit on it yesterday. So he was like so proud that he got, she was like, he is just so funny. Like he's a funny human. And she's like, I'll come over here like during Play-Doh time, and he'll be just like yakking it up with the other kids, like bebopping and like singing a tune. And I was like, he's a charmer. That one's a charmer for sure.
We're gonna have him fill in for you next time.
You should
need a day off. He'll just like slide right into place.
Yeah, You should.
Okay, so the school year's off to a good start.
School year's off to a great start. And I love being back at school. I love everything about it. I'm chairing the cafeteria again this year. We have 100% volunteer participation. Like, it's running smoothly, knock on wood.
Such large influence.
Well, I mean, it's 1,363 shifts to cover for the year. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, this is a big unpaid volunteer job.
It's a big deal. And I will say the PTA moms at my school, I mean, that is a well-run machine. It's intense. I don't know how these women do it, but it's pretty cool.
It is a lot. As I glance up at our screen here, for those of you watching on YouTube, Steve looks like he's about to host like a really high-end TV show. And I actually look dressed for the lunchroom. Like, is this lunch lady chic? It's either lunch lady chic or train conductor chic.
I love it.
Up close.
That's very nice.
I love it also.
We're available on YouTube if you want to see it.
Like, I'm just really embodying the lunch lady chic. If you need any fill-ins, our school doesn't do lunch ladies. I mean,
what?
There's no volunteers,
but there's like staff.
Yeah,
right. Like, not a parent staff.
If you buy lunch, which I'm too much of a smother mother, so I pack.
Right. You're a packer.
Yeah,
I would imagine. Well, okay, so how do you? It's funny. One of the moms that I really have become quite fond of, who I play mahjong with, actually.
Okay, you do?
Yeah, I totally. Yeah.
I feel like I'm too late. Everyone's so good at it now. People have private coaches. I feel like I missed the boat. I'm going to have to, it's like, I'll have to wait till Bunko comes back around or something.
So here's my thing. And I will say this to you, like, I am not great. Like, every time we play, I need like a little refresher. So I'm getting more the hang of it. And if I've got all my tiles and I'm just like overwhelmed by it, like, I don't even.
You just leave? You just stop?
No, I just play, but like, I'm there for the social aspect.
You're not there to destroy the other parents at a game.
There's no like,
Okay, I guess I could take that
I'm just there
attitude.
to connect with the other, because it's great. It's a great group of people. But one of the things we were joking about was like, kind of that, I don't know if you went through this, like the re-entry to school and the never ending, litany of like, how was your summer? How are you? Blah, blah, blah. Like, kind of did you find that you have to like re-socialize yourself? Like, because we become a little feral over the summer.
Yes, I love the feral phase. And you're only just really seeing who you want to see, which for us with a baby, I mean, we're still like, I follow Gemma's schedule. I know that that's like very passé. People like to say the baby's joining our life and we're going to live and let live. No, we follow a very strict schedule. It makes our lives really lovely and beautiful and balanced. But like, unless something fit into that little space on the weekends of like 1 to 3 or when she's napping, if they're going to come to my house, or 11 and 1 if we were going to have to go to their house, then I didn't see them. The re-entry,
I tried to book.
I know, it was just very unavailable. Gemma's she is finally back to sleeping. We after traveling, her schedule got so out of whack, I almost perished. It was miserable to come back and start back to work and like, she's not sleeping, I'm not sleeping, he's not sleeping, and then go to work and pretend like nothing happened.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's just, so yeah, I didn't see anybody.
Yeah.
And the re-entry has been interesting. It's easier though with a baby because they just want to hear about the baby. They just want to see about the baby. Yeah. So nobody's asked about me in a year and I'm fully like good with it. Like, nobody looks at you anymore. They're just like, oh my gosh, cute baby. And it's kind of great because you can just show up like full gremlin mode.
Like a train conductor.
Like a train conductor. And it's like, choo choo. And like, nobody cares.
Okay. Speaking of which, I finally put 2 and 2 together. So we joked I think actually during our first season, we were talking about like connecting with their parents. And I was like, I have this gay dad's chat on my phone. And you're like, oh, I have the Cougar Moms chat. I did not realize.
Wait, is there overlap?
No.
Oh wait, that would not be possible, I guess.
Possible. No. That would be very interesting.
That would be.
No, so not until I recently saw a photo of Brighton at school did I realize the school mascot is cougars. I thought you guys were like cougar moms, like we're the hot moms at school.
Oh my gosh, I would never. I mean, honestly, like if you look at the group chat, I feel like it's a pretty cute crew, like, if I do say so myself.
For it, I was like, you go cougar mom. You are a cougar mom.
Well, and we are like on the. So now, once Gemma, like I'm going to be a real cougar mom because I am 5 years older than Heath, and I will be significantly older than every other parent there. But right now, like this group of moms, we're still kind of like the more mature moms.
Yeah,
the more
you're the cougar moms.
We are the cougar moms. And then the mascot is also, that's so funny. You thought we were just straight up being like, we're cougars.
Yeah, because I know you're an older, attractive mom.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I had no idea that was the school mascot.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a little bit punny, I guess. Shout out to the Cougar Moms.
I was at Tears and Cheers, like right after drop off for Hudson. Like they do like everyone goes to somebody's house and has like, you know, pastries and coffee and whatever else.
Yeah.
After drop off. I was, of course, the only dad there, except for the hostess's husband who was there. And he came over to me and he said, hey, thanks for being the only dad here. He's like, I'm the oldest dad at school. And I was like,
oh no.
Are you? And he actually is older than me. So I was like, oh, funny. He's maybe a couple of years older than I am. But I was like, oh, there's actually, and there's another dad as well, who I'm very fond of.
An up and coming older dad.
Well, he's also older than me. So that's two. I'm like, all right, that's two.
I just think that's kind of like the new trend.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially, listen, we both live in neighborhoods where there's a financial bar to entry. And I don't know that there's many 20-year-olds buying houses on your street.
Yeah, no.
And having kids.
No, true.
And then going to private school.
No, that's true.
Right.
I mean, I definitely see what you're saying. You know what I just realized though about private? I mean, I'm just clearly not from this area, we didn't go to private school. We just like went to just school. Like I didn't even really ever consider it. How many people's parents pay for their kids' private school?
Wait, how many people?
Like it's the grandparent with a lot of people.
Wait, that are paying the tuition?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so you're also shocked.
No, I didn't know that.
No, this is like a very, like sort of, this was not with Cougar Moms. It was with another group of moms. And they were like, oh, well, yeah. The caveat, the downside is that then you have to go, like then the grandparents kind of have a little wrangle on you. And I don't really like any kind of wrangle. I want to just do whatever I want to with my children. So it's an interesting dynamic because my first thought was like pure envy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that is wild. And then it was like, yeah, it's great until you realize like you decide you want to change schools or you want to have a different religion or different, go to
like, no.
And non-denominational, or you want to go Catholic or non-religious, and grandma and grandpa are like, nope, this is what my grandkids are doing. So that was like an interesting little Dallas tidbit that I was totally oblivious to.
Me too. I wouldn't have known better. Okay, so backtrack. You were. We probably have some new viewers. Oh God, listeners.
1983 called.
Come on. So yeah, I think that it bears repeating how the heck we know each other.
So we started working together more than 10 years ago.
Has it been really? Well, yeah, Jacob's 7 turning 8.
Yes, more than 10 years ago at Fox 4, which is where, are we allowed to say that? Steve still works? Okay, yeah. I was like, I don't know why I had like a little post-pregnancy amnesia.
We have no money if they come after us.
Where are you from?
We've spent it all on real estate and private school.
I don't know. So we started working together, and then we were saying last season, like I feel like the bond really happened when, well, you told me like a day before Jacob was going to be born. Oh, by the way, I'm about to become a dad, and I guess I was pregnant.
Yes.
Well, along with Brighton.
Yes.
And so then we realized they were going to be similarly aged.
Yeah, because they're 3 months apart.
December, January, February, March, April, May.
He's February.
Oh,
Hudson's December.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's February to May.
Flip-flopped. Yeah, so they're just a few months apart, although different grade. Brighton's only in first grade.
Yeah.
So we have second, first, and kinder.
Yeah.
And baby.
We got it covered. Got it covered.
So then we work together. Now I work at CW33, hosting a show over there, but we stayed in touch through our kids, and it's interesting to see the bond that's created. I always felt like my closest relationships up until this point really had been work relationships, because you work, especially in our business, very high stress. So you problem solve, you work in high stress, you can relate to weird hours and weird dining
holidays
habits.
Together, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're eating like Thanksgiving from a buffet table purchased by Clarice Tinsley. Like it's just like a very,
she does bring in Thanksgiving,
different situation. But then I didn't know the next level of bond is like parent friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, which we are now. So it was like, okay, how do we parlay our broadcasting connection and our parent friend connection to A, spend more time together, and then B, hopefully be of service to people in the process.
Yes.
And here we are. No gifts, please.
Okay, how was your summer?
The summer was good. It was good. So I feel like I'm a little loopy. So kind of
totally relate.
Things are full steam ahead at work. So I launched my later night television show last spring. So we were on, it did well. It has now been picked up 5 nights a week starting the 9th of September, which may be, actually, no, it won't be before this airs. So yeah, that's coming up. So we're 5 nights a week at 11 o'clock on Fox 4. So that's intense. I mean, it's, I'm not going to lie, it's intense. It's very intense. It is also not the last new project that you'll be hearing about from me. So it's about to get even more intense. So all that's good. The summer was good. We were here, honestly, for most of it. We did one little bit of travel. We went to, it was actually really lovely. So my grandfather, way back in the day, built a lake house in the Poconos, and built it large enough for him and his children. He had 5 kids. I used to go there all the time. I mean, all the time as a kid. I mean, sometimes I would go without my parents. Sometimes they were with my parents. And there are really so many incredible memories of it. Well, now my sister owns that house and first of all has done a gorgeous job renovating it. So to be able to take, well, her and her husband, to be able to take our kids there, which I have not stepped foot in at least 20 or 30 years, probably 30 years. I haven't been in that house, was just honestly magical. And she was such a great hostess. I mean, we brought Reed and TJ with us, our friends.
So
they came
fun.
with us.
And they're so good with the boys.
They're so good with the boys.
Magical.
So we did, like, we went to LaGuardia, then we drove up to Goshen, New York to Legoland. And then the Poconos was only an hour from there. So it was a nice little midpoint. And it was just like home cooked meals and card games at night and like out on the boat and like kayaking and, like tubing and like sitting around and playing cards. You know what I mean? Like that kind of doing nothing and watching a movie and just being together. Like that's the thing that I miss about not being by my family is I don't miss Christmas. I don't miss because I don't miss Christmas. I'm there.
Yes.
I miss like it being Tuesday and us almost running out of things to talk about because we've been spending so much time together. Like that's the part of not living near my family that I hate.
I totally relate. I think about it probably too much because it's just like it is.
It is what it is.
This is
especially now that the kids are in school. I mean, this is it. This is where we're not moving until they graduate. So, yeah.
That's a big commitment.
Unless you're my employer, in which case it's entirely possible I'll leave at any moment and you should do everything you possibly can to detain me.
Boom.
So we were there for a week and then we were here for camps all week in the honestly not too blistering hot summer. I mean, we got away pretty scot-free for a long time. We did undergo that massive pool renovation, which...
Oh, are we going to do we have time to get into it?
We do not have time to get into it. We do not have time at all.
I couldn't tell if it was hotter last summer or if it was just that I was pregnant last summer. Because I was ready to move like by myself anywhere. Like I was just going to say bye and never see anybody ever again. It was so over Texas. Like, why do any of us live here? And this summer wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. And of course now it's, kind of all wrapping up as is the pool renovation. Not that I'm bitter. So yeah, no, all good. All good. What about you guys?
I'm so glad. Same. Just, I mean, because when you work, you don't get to go vacation for months on end. I think sometimes I can get into that comparison of like a lot of my friends work remotely or, they're working, raising their kids. So they're vacationing for like months on end. And so I can be like, oh my gosh, why am I here all summer? But we just did like the one longer vacation to Idaho, which we typically do in the summer. It was beautiful. Brighton has friends now in my parents' neighborhood.
Oh, and that's so sweet.
That is like, we want it here so badly. And I think it's because it's a big city. We don't do the whole, like, just run across the street to your neighbor's house, just safety and everything. We're just more pent up also because of the weather. There's just different things. I've just thought so much about it. Like, why don't we have that thing in our neighborhood where somebody just comes over and knocks on the door is like, hey, do you want to go ride bikes? Or like, do you want to have a popsicle? But when we go back to Idaho, that's what she has. And it's so lovely. However, I'm not going to paint too beautiful of a picture because everybody got sick. We were at urgent care twice with both girls. Like Gemma was sick, Brighton was sick. So it was like kind of like that the whole weekend. And then you're trying to force in these little memories here and there. Right. Like, but let's get ice cream and like, let's go for a hike or whatever.
Do you think that hey, nobody pops by and knocks on the door is also like a private school thing also? Like you're not going to school with the kids across the street, so there's not that...
Definitely a possibility. Yeah. No, I think that's definitely a possibility, although most of them, I mean, we have some people that drive in from really far, but I would say a lot of them are kind of...
Oh, in the neighborhood?
In the neighborhood, but it's also like after school activities, like, Brighton's in dance or piano or cheer. And so like there's not as much popover time. And a lot of the kids' parents work. So obviously they're in aftercare until basically dinner time.
I feel like we have to do better about that. Like
about what?
more activities for the kids.
You need to put Hudson in an organized dance class.
I know.
And I told you, sometimes they're free. Not that you can't pay for dance class, but I know you love a deal.
I will happily not pay.
Yeah, you do need to do better. Just kidding. You do not need to do better about anything. But like, yeah, he's so talented.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that we do like to do is keep our podcast to about 20, 22 minutes. We say we're the perfect podcast for taking a walk or for doing a load of laundry. So real quick, kind of teasing the season ahead. It's going to be a busy season. We have some really great guests. So Care Dallas, I don't know if you're familiar with that organization. They're going to be on here.
Yes.
Yeah. Grant Halliburton Foundation will be back. I'm co-chairing an event for them. We're talking with an expert about last year.
Which I think I'm emceeing.
You are. Yeah. So you're at my table as well.
One day, one foot in front of the other. I think I'm at that.
We had a great episode last year that people really loved on childhood ADHD.
Yeah.
So we've got an expert coming on this season about being a parent with ADHD and kind of navigating parenthood through that kind of similar lens. So we're thrilled to have you. We want to remind folks that we are available everywhere that podcasts are available. Plus, we, of course, have our YouTube page if you're just interested in watching. I know my parents are big watchers. They like to watch us on
Steve's
YouTube.
looking amazing right now.
I do have a super cute powder blue suit on.
So good with your eyes.
Thank you. Stop. Hey, Tuesday mornings, a new episode drops. We invite you to click subscribe so that you'll never miss an episode. We also have 2 seasons of back episodes for you to go and check out right now. And we'll see you each week, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. And if you have questions, we do have a child psychologist coming on too.
Yes.
So DM us questions if you have any questions for her, and we'll get those answered.
All right. And if nothing else, as we always say around here, go find yourself a friend you don't need to clean the house for. Welcome back, everyone.